Welcome to this explainer. So, you're gearing up for the C1 Advanced exam and you've hit Writing Part 2. It can feel like a real minefield, right? You get choices, but which one should you pick? And how do you actually structure it to get those top marks? Well, today we are going to break it all down piece by piece to help you absolutely ace it. All right, let's take a quick look at our game plan. First, we're going to decode any task they throw at you. Then we'll dive into that formal pair that trips everyone up, proposals and reports. After that, we'll get a bit more creative with reviews, then master formal letters and emails. And we'll wrap it all up with some game-changing pro tips. Think of this as your toolkit for success.
Okay, first things first, we have to build a solid foundation. Before you even think about writing a single sentence, you need a foolproof way to analyze the question. If you get this part right, trust me, you're already halfway to the finish line.
Have you ever just stared at a Writing Part 2 question and felt your mind go completely blank? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. With all those options, reports, reviews, proposals, letters, it is so easy to feel overwhelmed. But don't you worry, there is a system for this.
And here it is. This simple, three-step process is your secret weapon. Step 1, identify the main topic. Super simple. What's it generally about? Step 2, pinpoint the subtopics. These are the specific points you absolutely have to talk about. And step 3, this is the big one, identify your target audience. Who are you writing to? Answering this one question changes everything: your tone, your style, your vocabulary.
Okay, let's tackle two types of tasks that cause so much confusion: proposals and reports. At first glance, they look pretty similar. They both feel really formal, but their purpose? Totally different. So let's untangle them right now.
I want you to think of a report like it's a photograph of a situation, either right now or in the past. Your job is to be objective. You're just presenting the facts, maybe some findings from a survey or your observations about something. And usually you're writing it for someone in charge, like a college principal or your boss.
Now, a proposal. A proposal is all about the future. You're not just presenting information. You're using that info to try and persuade someone to do something, to approve your plan, to fund your project, to make a change. The goal here is 100% persuasion. So here's the bottom line, the key difference you need to remember. A report looks at the past or present. A proposal looks to the future. A report says, here's how things are. A proposal says, here's what we should do about it. Getting that distinction right from the very beginning is how you'll pick the perfect tone and words for your writing.
So for reports, you want language that sounds really objective, really authoritative. Using phrases like, the aim of this report is to, or it has been noted that, immediately sets that formal, informational tone right from the first sentence.
But in proposals, you gotta switch gears. Now you're trying to get the reader on your side, so you use phrases like, it is vital that, or as I am sure you will agree. This language creates a sense of teamwork, of urgency. You're not just informing them, you are actively convincing them. All right, let's shift to a totally different kind of writing, the review. This is where you can let your personality come out and play a little bit more, but it still needs a solid structure and some sophisticated language to really impress the examiners. With a review, your main job is to share your personal take on something. But you're not just saying, I liked it or I hated it. You have to explain why. Your goal is to inform your reader, maybe entertain them a little with your writing, and then at the end, give them a clear recommendation. And every fantastic review follows this exact structure. You start with a catchy title to grab their attention, then an intro that hooks the reader in. The body paragraphs are where you describe different parts and give your opinion on them. And finally, the conclusion ties it all together with a really clear recommendation. Should they go see it or should they just skip it? Now, to get those top marks, you've got to level up your language. So instead of just saying the acting was good, you could write something like, she gives a compelling performance at. Instead of, I didn't like the story, you could try, I found the plot rather predictable. See the difference? This is what shows the examiner you have a true C1 level vocabulary. Next up in our writing toolkit is formal correspondence. Whether you're applying for a job, making a complaint, or asking for information, knowing how to write a proper formal letter or email is a crucial life skill, and it's a super common task in this exam. Listen, every formal letter or email must follow this structure. It's totally non-negotiable. You have to get the greeting or salutation right. It's yours faithfully when you don't know their name, and yours sincerely when you do. State your reason for writing immediately in the very first paragraph, then lay out your points logically and end with a clear conclusion and the correct sign-off.
This quote right here, it's a perfect example of that confident, professional tone you need, especially if you're writing a letter of application. You're essentially selling yourself and your skills. And phrases like this one show that you're a serious, capable person.
Now, when you're writing a letter of complaint, the key is to be firm, but always be polite. You are not writing an angry text message. You are writing a formal, professional letter. Use phrases like these to clearly explain the problem, say why you're not satisfied, and suggest what you want to happen next. Okay, let's wrap this up with some absolutely essential pro tips. These apply across all the formal writing we've talked about: reports, proposals, and letters. These are the little details that will take your answer from just good to great. Just keep this simple guide in your head. Your formal writing always has to be polite and crystal clear. It's often a really good idea to use the passive voice to sound more objective. So, for example, say, "It was noted that" instead of "I noted that." And it goes without saying, no slang, no emojis, and please check your spelling and grammar. If you remember just one single rule from this entire explainer, please make it this one. Never, ever, ever use contractions in formal writing. It is always "it is," not "it's." I would, not I'd. This is the fastest, easiest way to show the examiner that you understand what formal writing is all about. And there you have it. You now have a complete toolkit to analyze any task, structure your writing, and use the right language for reports, proposals, reviews, and letters. The only thing left to do now is practice. So the final question is for you. Which one of these are you going to try out first?